Hi everybody. So this is a recipe that I have made one time for Easter Sunday and it turned out fabulous. I used the Ghirardelli double chocolate brownie mix. I used two of them. Let's see here. I just wanted to let you guys see. I'm going to do this first. I used flax meal, coconut oil, shredded sweetened coconut, flour, and I'm going to add a little extra chocolate at the end. But I just wanted to show you guys that I keep my flax in my refrigerator, and I have just this big heaping spoon. I would probably call it maybe over a teaspoon, but what I use this as an egg replacement, and here I have water that I estimate would be about 2 eggs worth of liquid. If I were to break 2 eggs open, this is how much water I believe would be in it. And I just grab a nice heaping spoonful of the flax meal. I mean, there are, exact measurements that you can find online, but I find that this works for me. And I'm not really big on measuring, which is why I really love to cook more than baking. So I just stir it here in the water and I let it sit for just a bit. So I'm going to do that first. Actually, the first thing I did was I preheated the oven to 325, which is part of the directions. We're basically going to follow directions on this box, except we're veganizing it. We're going to set this aside. Here I have a clear bowl just so you can see what I'm doing, and here is about the amount of, this is what I'm going to use for coconut oil. On the back of the box it says to use 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1/4 cup of water, 1 egg. So since we're doubling it up, I'm going to use about that much. And if you've ever worked with coconut oil, it is a solid, it solidifies. When it's warmer, it gets liquidy. So I'm going to put it in the microwave for about 15 to 30 seconds. Here is the coconut oil. And I'm just going to pour this in. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and add the 2 boxes of Ghirardelli double chocolate brownie mix. If you look at the back of the packaging, there's no eggs or dairy. Okay, so I just wanted to save time and turn it off while I opened up the boxes. After one box, my clear bowl it became clear that my clear bowl was too small. Okay, so here is my soaked flax meal. I'm going to pour that in. And for the little bit of water that's called for, I'm just going to kind of rinse out the flaxseed oil. Okay, so now I'm just going to mix this. You don't want to overmix brownie mix. Put that aside. And now I'm going to be concentrating on the pan. What I have here is a stick of, or I just have a bit of my coconut oil. And before I get my hands dirty, I'm going to just take a little container full of just a little bit of flour. I'm going to take this coconut oil and rub it all over the bottom of the pan. All along the sides. The heat of your hand will melt it. Now what I want to do is just add some flour along with my coconut. I'll wash my hands. I'm going to add my coconut to the bottom along with my flour. And And this can get messy. Usually I do this, last time I did this kind of over the trash and then over the sink because the trash can wasn't quite big enough. Because yeah, I use this casserole dish. So yeah, I want it all along the sides and the bottom. And I'm just going to leave the flour in there with the coconut. You can add a little bit more, however much coconut you want. And I just want it to be all over the bottom. So there's that. And I'm just going to add my batter right on top. The batter is thick. This is when spatulas really come in handy, when you have a thick batter like this. Lovely. And I just want to push it around each side of the casserole dish. And I want for the batter to be touching all sides of the pan. So yeah, I just want to make it nice and even. If you have issues, you can always wipe off or use another spatula and maybe oil it down a bit so it doesn't stick. Otherwise, it may take you a little bit just to kind of work it into each corner of the pan. All right. Beautiful. And once you have it all as even as you can get it, we're going to add coconut to the top. Just make sure. There we go. How it glistens. Very nice. So grab a handful of coconut, spread it all around, go crazy with it. I tell you, it's going to toast in the oven. It's going to be so nice. I'm going to just use all of this because I just love coconut. Okay? Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my 325-degree oven. And you can look at the box. I mean, if you're making muffins or a metal pan or a glass pan, as you can see, it'll give you directions. I'm going to go ahead and just start mine off at 38 minutes and just, you know, check it out and see how it's doing. And if it looks done, I will use a little knife, and usually 38 minutes does the trick. So I'm going to be using some dark chocolate from Trader Joe's, and I get these little bars. And most dark chocolate does not have milk or eggs in it. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this up. Here are my 3 dark chocolate bars from Trader Joe's. And I really love this technique. I love to just slice them with a knife. I just find that the slivers, big and small, really, I like it. So what I do is I just put them all 3 together, and then I take my knife from tip to base, put it down here. Okay, this is too much. I'll do 2. If you find you have some bigger pieces, you can go ahead and go through it again. Here we go. Chopping my chocolate like this is possibly one of my favorite parts of baking. I love chocolate, and it's not looking good. So what's going to happen is once my brownies are out of the oven, I'm going to sprinkle this on top, and it's going to be phenomenal. So I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. It's been about 38 minutes in the oven, and as you can tell, the coconut is roasted on top of the brownie. So what I'm going to do now is just grab my cutting board with the chocolates and just sprinkle it all over. So you've got big chunks, little chunks. Beautiful. Gorgeous. I'm going to leave now and let it cool off, because as you know with brownies, you want to let them cool. So there it is, my coconut brownies. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let them cool, and then once they've cooled off, I'm going to take a few pictures, and then I'm going to take a few pictures so you can see how it turned out. So thanks for watching, guys.